everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're diving into an essential topic, executive function challenges in teens with ADHD. If you've ever wondered why planning, organization, time management, and why staying on a task can feel like an uphill battle for your teen, this video is for you. I get it. When you think about it, our teenagers have so much, I call them moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts happening in the world, from managing their homework, taking notes in the classroom, studying for these tests, planning their weekly calendar, and attempting to meet everyone's expectation, including their own. It can be very overwhelming at times. So I'm going to explain why these challenges occur, and I'm going to share some practical strategies you can use to help your teen thrive. Okay, so first of all, what are executive functions? Super great question. ADHD and executive functions really go hand in hand. You can't say the one without the other. So executive functions are often referred to as our brain's self-management system. These skills, like I've just shared, planning, organization, time management, self-regulation, how they're responding to their day, help us navigate our daily lives. For teens with ADHD, these skills are particularly challenging because they're tied to the frontal lobe of the brain, which unfortunately develops more slowly in individuals with ADHD. Therein lies a challenge. So I want you to think of your executive function as the brain's project manager. Okay, if that project manager is missing or running behind, things don't quite get done on time, or maybe even at all. This is why your teen might struggle with seemingly simple tasks, like maybe starting their homework. How many times have we said, go just start your homework? Why can't you just start your homework? Or remembering to bring their gym clothes to school or their uniforms for their sports because they love that, right? So why are these skills challenging for teens with ADHD? Again, ADHD and executive functioning go hand in hand. So ADHD affects the development and functioning of that frontal lobe, which is the home to these executive function life skills. So that frontal lobe pretty much is half of our brain. So think about that. So all of these crucial life skills live in almost half of our brain. So at any given point, half of our brain may only be functioning at 50%, depending if your teenager's in overwhelm mode, right? So this can lead to what I think are the 3 daily challenges that we may be seeing in our home. I know I see them in my home. The first one is time blindness. Teens often live in the now and not now. Deadlines might not register until they're too close, causing a lot of stress and panic. Many of my private clients get lost in time, and my son too, not knowing how long they've been focused on social media or their gaming or how long they've been scrolling on YouTube. I have many memories of my son bolting down the stairs, having to go to the bathroom and forgetting that he hadn't eaten due to getting lost in time while he's up there playing Madden with his friends, right? Another challenge that you might see daily is transition struggles. The ADHD brain needs time to transition. I always say it's not like a light switch that can be turned on and off quickly and efficiently. Hey, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to go start studying right now, right? Moving from one task to another can feel like trying to turn a ship around in a tight space. It takes time and energy that they may not have. Okay. The third challenge, and I know we're getting exhausted of this, is short-term memory issues. Remembering instructions, assignments, remembering to hit submit. I know, I'm with you. Or maybe even household chores can feel impossible when that information doesn't transfer to the long-term memory. I know you're getting tired of reminding your teenager, but unfortunately they need it. So if your child or teen is forgetful, please be patient. They want to remember. They don't wake up every day saying, hey, I can't remember. I can't wait to forget something. But it's not, the problem is it's not in their long-term memory yet. So here are 3 practical strategies to support your teens. Okay. And some of these tools to make your life a little bit easier for both you and your teen. Okay. The first one is breaking down the task. Friends, this is like my number 1 life skill that as soon as you work with me privately, we dive into this and my teens master it. I feel it's a have to master because the best thing about breaking down tasks and major projects and essay writing is you can feel like it can feel a lot more manageable when you keep breaking it down. Like, you want to be able to break these big tasks until it doesn't feel so overwhelming. So help your teen break them into smaller assignments, more manageable. For example, here's how this might play out. Say you're writing an essay, research 3 sources by tomorrow. Draft your intro outline, right? Simple, small steps can reduce the anxiety and build momentum. And I think one of the best things about this, friends, is that you can continue. This is what I say to my private clients, like, keep breaking it down until it sounds more reasonable or sounds easier, or it sounds like, oh, I can definitely do that. Now that doesn't seem so overwhelming. Okay. The best thing about this life skill, because it's going to be used for the rest of their lives, you have to learn how to break down all the big projects, all the big things that seem so overwhelming, including cleaning up the rooms, right? So I love that is truly, in my world of coaching, like the number one thing we dive into so quickly. And all of my private clients know. I'm like, tell me how you break that down. Let me hear you do that. It's like emboldened in their sweet little brains. Okay. The second tip is using visual aids like planners, calendars, and color-coded sticky notes are your friends. Teens with ADHD often benefit from seeing their tasks visibly. Many of my private clients are also visual processors and have Google calendars that are beautifully organized colorfully, right? I also have another private client. He uses a whiteboard and he color codes his activities, color codes his, his appointments, color codes and highlights, or, color codes the most important, like what's a have to. So visual is always really appealing as well. And the third strategy is set timers and reminders. Okay. So I'm going to introduce sort of my study focus, if I may, when I work with teens who struggle with study cycles. You might have a teenager who work for hours on end in their room. No, dear people. No. When you think about it, most of these kids, these teenagers, their attention span is less than 25 minutes before they start gazing over, fogging over, brain fog, and getting distracted. So think about that. They're working against how their brain is functioning. Okay. So when you study in smaller study cycles, say 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break, that sounds a lot more realistic because you're working with how your brain is wired. And I use that study cycle with my teenagers all the time. So small study cycles can really win the day. This structure sort of aligns with their natural attention span. So think about that. If most of our teenagers, my son has like a 23.5-minute attention span, tested and tried and true. And so it's like, okay, let's play along with it, play to that advantage, right? So play into the strength. That's one of the best ways you can do. Not try and force focus. I always say, like, forcing focus is not ideal. So you can find apps for different study strategies. You can set the phone timers to help support your teen. And when they do that, they'll have a better understanding and a better relationship with their time management. Okay, so remember, progress, dear friends, takes time, and small steps lead up to the big changes. Celebrate your teen's effort and their wins, no matter what. I always say small wins lead to big wins. Super important. And that's part of breaking a lot of this work down. So tell me in the comments, which of these strategies do you think you want to try first? Let me know below. And also, if you like this content and feel like it's helpful and informative, you can subscribe and you will be the first to know when I have a new video out. Okay, that's